And I think every time that we as Latinos remember that, we reclaim a little bit of that lost narrative, that lost territory. And in that, there is power, because that is
Mm,
our collective story. We may not all agree on politics. We may
mm,
not all agree on, because we're not a monolith, and I know that. I get it.
right.
We all have a very different perspective, but that is something we can agree on. And, they say, and I love this saying, la unidad hace la fuerza. And I feel
Hmm.
like that's what's been missing for us
Mm,
as we rewrite that story. And there's this deep sense of us always having to prove we belong. But that to
right.
me is incorrect. Like I think about that song all the time, Somos Más Americanos by Los Tigres del Norte. And that song, when I really listen to it, I just think it's so powerful. And I even get a little emotional because it just reminds me of our truth. We are the indigenous people of the Americas. We are not the immigrants. We don't have to prove we belong.
Hmm.
Our roots are already here. We just have to remember.
Yeah, we have to remember. I've been trying to think of the metaphor for storytelling because obviously on this podcast we've talked about a lot that Latinos are not a monolith. At the end of the day, I'm almost tired of saying that
Hmm.
because we all know that. I mean, we shouldn't have to say that over and over. Well, of course we are, but it's like it's almost as if we need more of these stories out there because they're in some ways legs or pillars to the platform of our ground, of our sense of ground. And there's new stories coming out recently, unfortunately, of the great Chavez. And it's like, we can cut this out too if we don't want to talk about it, but
No, we can talk about it. We should talk about it. I mean, it's again,
it just makes it more precarious. I guess where I'm going with this is like when we have like one guy or two, decades later, it turns out it's not exactly who we hoped that person would be. It really shakes the foundation. And, if we had 10 of them, well, we still have 9 other stories out there.
hmm
Right. So, well, I'm glad we have Dolores Huerta out there.
hmm
Pero ¿quién más?
yeah. I mean,
Right?
listen, today was a sad day.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was shocking. Today was sad. This morning, my little girl asked me, "Who is Cesar Chavez?" Because I was
Yep.
reading, and I choked
Yep.
because I literally didn't know how to answer that question because I don't know who he is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I knew who he was, but here's what I do know. I know that Dolores Huerta has always been there. She's always been the heart of the movement. I think it's also up to us to create and find and give people more reasons to tell their stories because it's not that no es que haya falta.